Hi guys and welcome to Rhys's Adventures. I come to you from the comfort of my own home because we're in lockdown as the whole of the UK is. You can still travel for exercise and things like that, but apart from that I can't really go and do much, and I don't really want to go and sit out. The weather's horrific today, and go and film somewhere over the back fells because you really should just be there for exercise, and I don't want to take advantage of that. So here I am in my own home. It's been so long since I've welcomed anyone to Rhys's Adventures as a channel. I mean, there's 138 subscribers on here, and that seems to have grown over the past 2 years from 90, I think, when I left the channel, which is mad really because I haven't posted anything. So we've had quite a few popular videos which have blown up, and I think that's probably gained me that extra 40 subscribers. So yeah, I'm doing this video because I think I wanted to do an update on where I'm at with everything, because it's been such a long time since I've fully documented any of my adventures, and I've done so much in the last 2.5 years that I haven't actually been on YouTube, and I'm going to go through that slightly today. So the last video I made was on the 28th of February 2018, so about 2.5 years ago now. And that was when I went and walked around the Pembrokeshire coastline, and that was a lot of fun. I remember filming at the time, and I used to do that for all my adventures. I'd film pretty much everything. And then I think after that it kind of tailed off. I went through a bit of a bad breakup at the time, which looking back is funny to say because I mean I was young at the time. You kind of look back at those young relationships and you go, was it really that bad? But I remember at the time it was devastating for me. I mean, I'd been in this relationship 3 years, and we broke up, and that kind of really hit me quite hard, and I decided that was it. I was going to fly out to Spain and I was going to walk back, and that's what I did. And in April of 2018 I flew out to Spain and walked about halfway back. I twisted my ankle going across the Pyrenees mountains, and then cycled the rest of the way back home, and it was the best experience of my life. It was that first time that I'd ever been properly alone on an adventure, and I felt like a true explorer. I was there on my own. I would have been 19 at the time, 19, and what a life experience that gave me, just walking and cycling all the way back across Spain, and I'll never ever forget that, truly. Then I decided that I was going to cycle to Iceland, which I did, and that was a lot of fun. It went quite wrong all along the way, to be honest. I did it during the winter, well, sort of coming into the winter, and the weather was appalling. So, well, not to do with the weather related first, I got hit off by a car in Germany, so I got knocked off my bike, and my front wheel was completely bent, which wasn't great, especially on a cycling expedition as well. And I managed to get sort of a replacement wheel, but I remember at the time that it wasn't brilliant compared to my racing wheels that I have on my touring bike at the moment. And that did actually slow me down going through Denmark and then carrying on up the coast. Then I got what was the worst ferry ride in the world over to Iceland. I mean, you can get a ferry from Denmark to Iceland, which a lot of people, when I tell them that, are amazed to hear. It's 2.5 days long, and it is the worst journey of your life because you're in open sea, and especially if there's a storm, which there was when I was there, the boat just spends its time rocking back and forth, and I remember sat on the top deck just watching the boat go like this, and you could see there's sea, sky. I've never felt so poorly in my entire life, and let's just say it wasn't worth going to the bathrooms on that ferry because you didn't want to know what was in there. Then we finally got to Iceland, and my rucksack broke, which was quite a main one because I was using that to carry a lot of kit at the time. And in Iceland things are quite expensive and actually hard to source, but I did manage to find a replacement rucksack, and then after I'd swapped all my kit into that rucksack, that night my tent then blew away while I was inside it, and that was probably one of the worst nights of my life. I will never ever, I've never slept in a tent sound again after that night. Once you've been in a tent and the outer's ripped off around you and you're fully exposed to the elements, and this was during a full storm in Iceland. It was an MSR Elixir 2 tent for anyone who's interested, and let's just say for a £200 tent it should have fared slightly better than that, and MSR were more than apologetic in figuring out what had actually happened with the tent. We never did. I got a replacement and sold it because I didn't want to be in a tent that had blown away around me. And then I finally made it to Reykjavik, where I was going in the end, but I made it through a series of coaches and buses and actually saw quite a lot of northern Iceland, which was beautiful, but I'd love to go back there and do more cycling because I didn't really get to see much of it by bike. Then I came back and worked again. I've had quite a few jobs in between, and I've got to be honest, appalling jobs as well. I worked as a litter picker on a landfill site for a bit. That was a bad job. That was just before I went out to Spain, and that was kind of to fund that. Then I got back from Spain and I worked as a door-to-door salesman for a bit, which I was actually relatively good at, but it was a bit sketchy, the whole operation, and I just didn't really want to deal with that. Then I did night shifts at DPD, which was probably the worst job I've ever had in my life, because me and nights clearly don't go together. I was there for about 3 or 4 weeks, and I just couldn't adjust to the pattern at all. I'm not sure how long it does take to adjust to night shifts, but I wasn't going to stick around long enough to find out, and yeah, I really didn't like that job. And then I got a job at a furniture warehouse, where I was actually there for about 1.5 years down in Birmingham, and I was manager there for a bit, and that was alright. It was really hard work, really long days, but it was alright. So that was kind of in between. And then I decided to walk across Italy. This is my current girlfriend, and we walked all the way down the Camino in Italy, and it was a lot of fun. About 500 miles. Started in Florence and went all the way to Rome, and we had some really tough days. We did it during winter again, just coming up to Christmas, and it was magical actually. We stopped in Florence for a couple of days, and the lights and the trees up everywhere, it really was magical. But then going through all of Italy and seeing Christmas in a very different way, because I've never done Christmas in another country. And we flew back on Christmas Eve and then spent Christmas Day back in the UK. But to see the actual build-up in a different country was magnificent, and I definitely recommend going to Italy during Christmas because it's just beautiful. And then I came back and I decided to move up to Lancashire, which is where I am now. So for many of you who followed me from the start, you know that I come from Birmingham originally, and I now live in Lancashire. And I came up here. I've been living here for, it must be 5 months now, 6 months. It's been quite a long time actually, and I absolutely love it up here. I'm right in the middle of nowhere. We've got fells just over the back. I live in the countryside. It is beautiful up here, and it's provided such an opportunity for me to do a lot of walking. I've gone into mountain biking recently, and it's been a lot of fun. I also decided to open an outdoor shop for a bit, and I opened that for I had it open for 3 months before coronavirus hit, and what we were selling was actually second-hand outdoor and equestrian clothing, and it was a lot of fun, and I enjoyed it, to be honest. But coronavirus came in and hit, and it's really put a lot of things in perspective for me in terms of what I actually want to be doing, and it's given me a chance to look back at my old adventures and my old videos, and I've kind of looked back and I've gone, I loved doing that. I really love documenting these adventures for you guys to watch. I've got a lot more into photography recently. I've been spending a lot of time in nature trying to capture whatever I can with a new camera that I got a couple of months ago, and I've enjoyed it so much. And I've realised that actually to sit in an outdoor shop 9 till 5, 6 days a week as well, so it was, 6 days a week, and I had a Wednesday off, and it's not really what I want to be doing with my life for the foreseeable few years. You may notice there's quite a lot of boxes in the background. That's because I also run a horse rug company. A horse rug is like it's like a coat for a horse basically. It could be waterproof, windproof, or keep the flies away. I'm really new to the whole equestrian side of things, so that's my explanation of a horse rug anyway. So that's what we've kind of got into at the moment. But yeah, I had to make the decision actually to shut the outdoor shop because, I mean, it was down to a few factors, and with coronavirus and after coronavirus, the shop was quite small, and I was concerned about how we were going to keep that whole social distancing thing going on, and I don't really want to put anyone who comes into my shop at risk, but also myself. I don't want to be in there 6 days a week in close quarters with people who obviously you don't know where they've come from, you don't know what they've got, and if they're taking the necessary precautions, and it's very difficult to keep that. If you knew the size of my shop, it would be difficult to keep social distancing. But also people's spending habits, I think, will have changed after, and my lease was coming up to end on the 1st of August. So I had to make the decision now to whether I wanted to carry it on after that time, and I think with everything being so uncertain, it made sense just to go, right, this isn't really what I want to be doing. I wasn't massively enjoying it. I was very tired all the time, very stressed, and felt like what I should be doing would be out in the mountains, out in the fells, and really enjoying myself. So that's what I'm going to try and get back to. That's why I'm on this channel, and I'll have shared this into Rhys Adventures, and I'll have shared it into Second Life Outdoors. So Second Life Outdoors was the name of the outdoor shop, for anyone who doesn't know, and Rhys Adventures is the Facebook page that I use for this YouTube channel, and I used to use way back when I was doing all my photos and videos of different adventures and all my travels around the world. So yeah, it's been a journey the last 2.5 years, and I still can't believe that it's been that long since I've posted. But I think what I've learned from everything is this is what I enjoy doing. I really enjoy talking to a camera. I really enjoy showing people the places that you can go and the things you can do, and that's what I want to get back to. And it's not a solid plan. It's by no means financially stable, but it's what I enjoy, and I think the best thing to do right now is to get back to what I enjoy doing and really see where that can take me. So yeah, that's it. This is the start of Rhys Adventures 2. We're going to start over again, and hopefully I can provide some content that you guys really enjoy, that I'll enjoy more importantly, because I just want to be out there making this content and getting it on here, because I miss those adventures so much. So much. It's funny looking back at my old videos, and I used to walk down the canal and I do sort of geocaching videos. If you don't know what geocaching is, then I'll try and link it in at the top. And I'd walk down the canal. I was so cheery and I remember at the time it was an adventure. It really was genuinely an adventure. The first video on Rhys Adventures was me going down the Staffordshire abandoned railway line, and I went down, and I remember at the time that was so huge, and I want to get back to that because it was so much fun and so simple as well. So hopefully we can get back to that, and I really just want to find what I enjoy again, which is what I'm going to try and do. If you followed me over from Second Life Outdoors, you'll know that I actually run walks, and I will be running courses as well very soon, linked in with that. Although the shop is shut, Second Life Outdoors is not shut, so again, they'll both be linked in below. But if you want to follow Rhys Adventures for more adventures, more content, I'm going to be doing kit reviews and all that sort of thing, then please do subscribe. It means the world to me, but this is what I enjoy, and I'll see you soon.